Hello my crafty friends, Tracy here with Sweet Bay Lane. In this video, we're going to be DIY crafting some beautiful winter home decor that leans more towards a simple Scandinavian design style. And what I love most about this design style is that it gives you a very high quality finish on an affordable budget. So let's go ahead and get started. For this DIY, we're going to be working with those bamboo rings from the Dollar Tree. We're also going to need some ribbon of your choice. I'm going to be using, of course, this red velvet ribbon. And you'll need some green felt. And I chose this felt from, where did I get this from? Yeah, Hobby Lobby. And you'll need some red felt. So what we're going to do, and the green can be any color you want it to be. We are going to first start out by, we're going to cut our felt out. And we're going to be cutting it in small shapes like this. And you can do it any way you prefer. You can start by just cutting out a shape and cutting out each individual shape. But what I did is I took and folded mine like, I folded it like this, like a zigzag. Like that. And then I had my template leaf and I then cut the top off like that. Cut the top off. Let me just show you here. We're going to cut the top off like that. Now we have our packet here. And we'll just cut out our holly, or not holly leaf, but just a leaf pattern. I mean, you could cut out a holly leaf if you want to, but I'm just going to stick with this basic leaf pattern. And then we're just going to cut around the thick, and it's really nice because then you get a lot of them cut at once, and then you can just trim up to make sure they're all pointed. And I think they look so cute. What do you guys think? I think that's a perfect way. So let's go ahead and get these cut, and then we'll continue on. Once we have our felt pieces cut, I think they look so cute. I actually like cutting them out of the thickness because then they're not all perfect and they look more like natural leaves. So, and I used 4 pieces of felt for this many leaves. And we'll see if we have enough. Hopefully, if not, we'll just cut some more. We're going to move those aside. We're going to get our hoop. And I think I'm going to use the bigger of the 2 hoops. And we'll save this other one for another project. And I just love these little hoops. They look so pretty. Now that we have our hoop out, and I've marked mine where I want the bottom of the wreath to be with a little bit of pencil. And this is super, super simple. We're just going to take our leaves. We're going to pinch them in half like that. Now you can glue them that way, or you can just, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and glue them. We're just going to glue them all together like this. And what I was going to say is you can take the time and just glue all of your leaves together, which I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and do that now. We're now going to take each individual piece and we're going to stick it down to our wood hoop. We're going to stick one down to one side, and we're going to take, actually that would be kind of cute sticking them all down to the one side, wouldn't it? But we're going to do it this way because this is the way I want to do it. But you can do it any way you prefer. But we're now going to take and just glue them like that. So now we have 2 glued onto our hoop. And just try and space them, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect, just the way you like it. You can also space them wide too if you wanted to do it that way. But I think I'm going to keep mine closer together. I might have to make some more, but we'll see. We will see. And once we have all of our pieces glued down, you'll have what looks like this. And I think it looks quite cute on its own. But I want to add some dimension to mine. So I'm going to take just a single leaf and I'm going to glue it to the top right here of each of the sets of 2. So let's go ahead and get that done. And then they're going to start looking like this. So let's go ahead and get that done, and then we'll continue on to our next step, which is going to be using the red felt. Now we have this cute little felt wreath. We're going to take the red felt and we're going to cut out little red circles. Then we're going to glue those. We're going to start here and we're going to glue those like this. And we're going to do that every other one. So now that we have them laid out, we'll just glue them on. All right. Now we have that done. We gotta clean up all our little spider things, our little cobwebs from the glue. Now we have this, which I think is so pretty. Why do I love this thing so much? I love textured, warm, cozy stuff like this. It's so beautiful. Now I was thinking of making a bow out of the felt. What do you guys think about that? Or I think I'm going to use this red velvet ribbon. I think that will be pretty. So let's go ahead and try that. Now we have our beautiful bow made. We're going to just glue it down to our base here. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to secure it with a piece of the felt. So let's go ahead and get that done. And I think, is it going to be red? No, let's get a piece of the green. All right, so now we have our cute little felt wreath. I love this so much. It's so cute. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the bow on with a little more felt. So I'm going to flip it over. And then we're going to put a little glue on both sides here. And then put this felt just to secure the bow down. So let me cut this down here. Alright, so let's see how this works. And then you have this beautiful textured felt wreath. I love the textures, the velvet and the felt together. It's so warm and cozy. And these are so beautiful in person. And you could also vary the colors of the leaves. That would be pretty too. Say use the light green, then like make it kind of ombre around, or maybe mix the leaves different colors to make it more texturalized. I think that would be so fun. I hope you guys make one. It's really fun to make. I think these would be great to make sitting watching a Hallmark movie, drinking some cocoa or tea or something, and just snuggled up, cutting your felt and gluing away. All right, now we're continuing on to our next DIY. For this DIY, we're going to be using a 12-inch embroidery hoop. We're also going to be possibly using these little wood snowflakes. Now I purchased these at Hobby Lobby, and we'll need some ribbon of our choice. I'm going to be using velvet ribbon, of course, and I've got 2 different sizes and colors. Now to start, I'm going to keep my hoop a natural color, but you can paint it, you can do whatever theme you want, but I'm going to keep mine the natural color. Because I want this to be a winter piece for me, for my home. And what I did is I took this ribbon that I bought last year. It's their Easter ribbon at Michael's, but it was this beautiful blue, baby blue. And I cut it in the middle there, and I ripped it down. And I ripped it into 2 smaller pieces like this. So that's what I did with that, to be able to keep my ribbon the colors I wanted. And we're going to start by taking our wreath, our embroidery hoop. It's not a wreath, but it's an embroidery hoop. And we're going to take it apart. And we're going to lay our ribbon pieces down onto our base piece like that. Now, I'm wondering if I should glue them, or should I think I will glue them down just to have a little more security maybe. I don't know. Let's just try this. We'll try doing it the regular way where we lay out our ribbon and then we'll lay it out and we'll try and put it in the embroidery hoop like you do regular material. And then we're going to need one. We're going to need two that go like this across. Then we're going to need one that's off center and goes like this. Uh-oh, I gotta let Miss River out of the room. She's hears going ons out there in the kitchen. So hold on 1 second. Let me let her out so she can go beg in the kitchen. All right, I'm back. My husband's out there cooking and she's like, hey, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I gotta be in on that too. So we have that like that. Now I'm gonna take and put this piece over this piece, kind of like it's woven over it. Yeah, that is gonna be perfect. Okay, and then we got this piece like this. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put a little piece of this in there too. Just add a little bit of definition to it. Like that maybe? Let's see, now we're gonna take our hoop. Here's the magic. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. All right, so now, before we tighten it, I want to pull our pieces tight. Ooh, oh boy. We're going to finish tightening it completely up so it's nice and tight. Perfect. All right, and it's even, yep. So far so good. And then we have what looks like this. So far so good. And I'm going to keep my pieces long, so in case we need to adjust them later, we'll do that. For our next step, we're going to take some, I think, yeah, I'll take some of this greenery. I'm going to be using this greenery from this wreath that I have. Let's see if I can, yep, perfect. Tear that out. I think I'm going to glue mine on top of the ribbon here. So let's go ahead and attach that now. All right, perfect. Now we have this, which I think is so cute. Next, we're gonna do our snowflake. Now, I'm keeping my snowflake natural, and I think what I'm gonna do is take it out and spray it with some clear coat, just so it is sealed. So let me get that done, and then we'll continue on with our project. Okay, now we have it clear coated with the Rust-Oleum clear enamel. And I'm going to take and put, I think I want this on there, yeah. This maybe behind here like this. Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to glue that up into there like that, behind our greenery. Make sure we got it even. We're going to tuck it up in there like that. Let it dry. And then we're going to kind of tuck it behind our greenery just a little bit. It's going to be so cute. Really like Scandinavian design, which I actually am starting to really, really love. Okay, so now we've got that glued in place. We're going to take our snowflake, our big snowflake, and we're going to glue it down to the, twine. So let's do that. So far we have what looks like this. I think it already looks so fun. All right, so now we're going to continue on. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this little hole. I think I might just cover it with, I don't know, what should I cover that with? We'll see, we'll see. Now we're going to continue on, and we're going to be using some of these smaller snowflakes. And I have an open container right here of all of them. And they're so pretty, these little snowflakes. I just love them, they're so pretty. And I think we're going to put one in the center of our larger snowflake to give it dimension. Everything looks better with dimension, right? I'll throw that down there. Then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few of these snowflakes and then once we have our snowflakes on, we're going to put some bow. We're going to put a bow up here, and we're just going to use this little blue ribbon. We're going to make a tiny little bow. And once we have our ribbon bow done, we're just going to glue it right down here to the top of this ribbon. I think that looks so pretty. It does. It looks so pretty. I love this so much. It's so simple. Now we need a hanger, and for that, I'm also going to be using some of this blue ribbon. And then you'll see we're just putting it behind the little screw down where you tighten the embroidery hoop, and then we'll just tie it off. And now you have this adorable little piece, but we're going to trim off our tags and stuff, but I think it's so pretty and so simple. I love it. Alright, so let's get this nice and tight. Get everything tight before we decide to cut it. Alright, perfect. Now we're going to flip it over and we're going to trim off our edges. And not too much because we don't want them to slip through, but we don't want them hanging over either, so. And then you'll just take some hot glue and go right along the edge of the ribbon and the hoop. That way you'll secure it down and it won't pull out of the hoop. And if you wanted to pull out of the hoop, maybe to use the hoop for something else, you can just leave it as is. But I'm going to just secure mine a little bit with the hot glue, just so it won't pull out. And then we're left with this beautiful, simple winter piece. And I think this is so beautiful. What do you guys think? I love the simplicity of this. I love it so much. I think it's so pretty. Now for this DIY, we're going to be using this 3-piece hinged houses. I purchased this on clearance at Hobby Lobby, like maybe, I don't even know, probably last year sometime. And I think it was like, I want to say it was like 90 cents, so how could I pass that up? It was a perfect base for any DIY. And we're going to take this outside and we're going to spray paint it with this blue. It's called Midnight Blue, and it's a satin finish by Rust-Oleum. So let's go ahead and take that out and get it spray painted. All right. So we've got that done. Now we're going to add a decal to our middle house. And I printed this up on my Silhouette machine in a permanent vinyl. White, and it says "Let It Snow" with the little mittens and hearts. I love that. This is going to be perfect coming into winter. And we're just going to stick it down. All right, so now we have that on there. Look at how cute that looks. But we're not done yet because we're going to add some snow to the bottom. some snow to the roofs, and then we're going to add some snowflakes. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. Let's add our snowflakes first, and we're going to be using some of these paint pens. Actually, I'm going to be using the white paint pen, and if you've watched me at all, you know I love these paint pens, and you can purchase these at Walmart. I'll see if I can find a link for them because they are so good. They're so good. All right, so we're going to take and make some snow. Now, I'm wondering if this is going to work on the, I might have to use some chalk paint on this because I don't know if the marker is going to stay. So let's see. Let's go ahead and try it anyway. Maybe we can draw the snow on and then we can paint it with the paint. Let's try that. So we'll just draw some snow along. And I know that this isn't going to stay with the marker. Well, eventually it will, I guess. But we just want to get a guideline for our snow on our roof. So then we can come in with the white and paint it. So let's go ahead and do that now. And I think I'm going to use some of this chalk paint. So we'll see what happens. Chalk paint's messy. So messy. Why? Why you gotta be so messy, chalk paint? All right, now let's get a brush. And I think I'll try this brush, maybe. We'll see what happens here. Let's just see. All right, now we have our snow on there. We painted our snow on our roof, the snow on the ground, then we painted our flakes. We did little dots, medium-sized dots, and then we did some little kind of what I call asterisks for our snowflakes, and I think it looks so cute. But I'm going to take mine outside and I'm going to give it a couple good coats of this matte clear coat enamel. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the finished product. And we have our clear coat on, and I think it looks so cute with the clear coat. And you could take any wood and turn it into houses and then put the hinges in the back if you didn't have the particular piece, obviously, because it's kind of unique and one of a kind. But if you wanted to, what you would do is just take the wood, make the pointy roofs, and then hinge them together and decorate them. I love how this turned out. What do you guys think?